So just nice and easy rocking side to side. You can even do small circling motions if you want to for that lower back. Pretty much whatever feels good to you. And then you're gonna hug your right knee to your chest, and your left leg can be out straight, or it can be on the floor, and you're gonna go side to side there. So just nice and easy, really trying to stretch out those legs, right? Pointing the toe. You can have one foot down on the ground if your back is feeling tight. And you want to kind of start thinking about keeping the core tight. So slowly we're going to wake up that core, right? But we're not going to go crazy on the core today. You'll be using it, but just not crazily. So we're going to go about one more to each side. And then you're going to have one leg up straight. Doesn't matter which side you start with. We'll grab behind the hamstring and we'll go side to side there. So as you're pulling on that hamstring, just nice and easy. If you're feeling tight, you can move a little bit slower. Doesn't really matter. You don't have to go fast. You're warming up. And if you wanted to have one foot on the ground, you can, right? Don't feel like you have to have both legs up if it feels like too much on the back. And you can hear a dog barking in the background, maybe. So we're going to go about 4 more here. So here's 1. Here is 2. Here's 3. Here is 4. Then we're going to bend our knees. Feet are flat on the ground, and we're going to do some bridges. So just nice, easy. You're going to inhale in. Exhale, we'll press our hips up, squeeze the glutes. Nice, easy inhale, coming back. So every time you're pressing up into that bridge, try to get up as high as you can. Squeeze the glutes and slowly come back down, right? So we're going slow, controlled. You're just working on the form, and you're breathing with that movement, right? So don't feel like you have to go too fast. Never. Right? And we're just pressing up and down. Easy peasy like that. So on your next bridge motion, you're going to press up as high as you can. You're going to come halfway down and then press back up. Right? So you're kind of doing a half bridge motion here. Again, it doesn't have to be fast. It can be nice and slow. Every time you're pressing up, you are squeezing the glutes. Those glutes are very important. So you're going to do about 5 more seconds worth of this, and then we're going to hold. So on your next bridge motion, go ahead and keep those hips high, squeeze those glutes, and we've got a 10-second hold right here, and then we'll relax on down. So just trying to squeeze those glutes as much as you can. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and you're going to relax those hips down. So we're going to go into some of our dead bug variations here. So you're going to start, you want to make sure that you're pushing your lower back down to the ground. You're going to have your arms up in the air. So keeping your back to the mat is key on this. As your right arm comes back, your left leg comes into tabletop, and you're going to go side to side. So you're doing opposites. You always have one foot down on the ground, just so we can make sure that the core is nice and easy warming up, right? We're not going anything too crazy. And you just want to take your time with this and really, really try to pay attention to what your lower back is doing, right? So make sure that you've got the core contracted. You're squeezing those muscles nice and tight, right? You don't want to get lazy with it, of course not. So you have the option. You can stay right here if you like this move. If you want to make it a little more challenging, you're going to have both legs in tabletop, and this time you would kick out, right? So you could be right here, or you can still keep one foot on the ground. So as we're warming up, you get to kind of choose your threshold. So you want to go with what feels good to your body. So it should be challenging, but you don't want it to cause you any pain, right? So if you have one foot down on the ground and you still think that's hard with the core, that's fine, right? Core bracing isn't easy, so whatever you need to do. So then you have the option here. You can keep going right here. If you wanted to step it up again, this time you would have arms and legs straight, and you would do more of a straight arm and straight leg, right? So this would be the most challenging move of this. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Only do what you feel like you can maintain. So we're going to go about 15 more seconds, right? And then we're going to go back to a little more bridges. So let's go one more to each side. Here's 1, here's 2, and then you're going to relax down. So with our bridges, we're going to get our arms included here. So we're going to have our arms up. You're just going to press up and hold your bridge, right? And then with our arms, we're we're letting our hands come straight back and then up. So it's like you're touching the back of your hands to the floor and then coming back up. So it's just nice and easy, nice and controlled, right? trying to loosen up the shoulders, trying to loosen up those arms, and getting our glutes ready to burn today. So we got 2 more. And then now you're going to do the opposite of that. So you're going to touch your palms down to the floor and back, right? Down to the floor and back. But don't smack too loudly. Otherwise, it'll be really loud. It might not feel good, right? So still think about your bridge, right? As you're pressing up there, don't just let your butt sag. Make sure you're squeezing those glutes. We've got about 5 seconds here, and then we're going to go to the next arm movement. So go ahead and do 2 more. There's 1. Here's 2. Now you're going to have palms facing each other. Arms are going to come wide and back, right? So it's kind of like if you're doing a chest fly with weights. You've got a slight bend in those elbows. You're bringing your arms wide and back. We're trying to get those arms ready to groove today. In the mood to groove. So we got 10 seconds. Then we're going to relax from this bridge. So let's do 5 more. There's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. Here's 5. So we're going to relax our hips down. We're going to go back to some core bracing moves. So we're going to keep our head down. You're going to have your left knee bent. Your right leg is going to be up in the air. So you want to try to keep your right leg as straight as you can. You're going to draw those tummy muscles in, so you're pushing your back flat to the ground. Exhale, that leg comes down. Inhale, that leg comes back up. So really, really focus all of your attention in that lower back, right? Pay attention. Is it arching? If your back is arching, you could do a smaller movement with your leg, right? The lower your leg gets, the harder it is to keep that back down, right? But you're kind of keeping those shoulders relaxed. Try to just focus on breathing, right? It doesn't have to be fast. You don't even have to watch me. It doesn't take too much to think about this one, right? And we're going to do about 10 more seconds worth. So I'm not even going to make you count, but we will be adding to this leg in just a second. So go ahead. You're going to do 1 more. Then you're going to keep your leg up top. So now we're going to let our leg come wide like a windshield wiper. Exhale wide, inhale in. But you're keeping your hips down. You're trying not to let that left knee tilt open, right? You want to focus just on this right leg. It's like if you had a Barbie doll leg, you're going to pop your leg off and then pop it back in, right? That's how hips work. No, they don't. Don't do that to your hip, right? But they won't pop off, okay? So make sure your left hip isn't coming up off that mat. That's the hard part of this. Your leg is still nice and straight, right? We got 5 seconds, so take your time. You're going to do 1 more, and then we're going to relax our leg down, right? You can relax your core for a second. So right knee is going to be bent. Left leg is up straight. Draw those tummy muscles in. Exhale, our left leg comes down. Inhale, it comes back up, right? So this one feels a lot easier than when you go wide. You switch sides and you're like, oh my gosh, I could do this in my sleep, probably. Maybe you could. Wouldn't that be cool if you could core brace in your sleep? I think so. So really, really tightening up those abs, right? Keep on breathing. Try to keep those shoulders relaxed, right? Because we don't want tense shoulders. And we got about 15 more seconds like this, and then we're going to go wide, okay? So just nice and controlled. So let's go ahead. We're going to do 2 more. There's 1. Here is 2. Now we're going to let our leg go wide. So really draw in those core muscles. Exhale, our left leg goes wide. Inhale, it's coming back, right? So remember, the only thing that moves is your left leg, right? Right knee isn't tilting. Right hip isn't coming off the mat. Mine just almost did come off the mat, right? Good thing there's no zoom and you can't tell. Okay, so really control that leg, right? It's just going wide and back. It doesn't even have to be a huge motion. You've got to find your range of motion. Okay, we got about 15 seconds, and then we're going to get rolling for the day, right? Enough of this warm-up stuff, right? We don't want to do too much. So we're going to do 3 more here. Here is 1, and then back. Here's 2, and back. Here is 3, and back, and you relax. Okay, so we're going to grab our weights here. So if you're trying to decide what weight to choose, this first one, if you have heavier or lighter, I would go lighter, right? And if at any point your weight feels like it's too much, you can use 1 dumbbell, right? So I don't have dumbbells, but pretend they are. So you're going to have your arms up straight. So you're going to lift into your bridge. Your arms are going to come back straight to about where your arms are almost to your ears. You'll come back, hips are down. So you're going to come up, arms come back, arms come to your starting position and down, right? So you're up, arms are straight back, you're coming back in and down. So really focusing on that bridge first, then your arms add that movement, you come back and down, right? So arms are staying straight, You want to control those weights, so don't let them touch the floor. You don't want to go fast with this movement. You just want to be able to control what those arms are doing, right? And that bridge is holding you in position. So make sure that you're getting those hips up high enough so that if you drew a straight line from your shoulders to your hips, they would all be connected, right? So we have 15 seconds, and then we're going to go into our next move with this bridge, right? So really focusing on pressing those hips, keeping those arms straight, right? We're connecting our core to this movement. So you're going to do one more. Okay, so we're still going to be bridging up. This time our arms are going to go in opposite directions. So you're going to bridge. Your right arm will come down, left arm comes back. You'll come back to the middle, come down from that bridge. Then you're going to come up and you're going to switch there, right? So you're going to come down from your bridge in between every single movement, right? And you'll just alternate which leg comes, or which arm comes back and which one comes down. Okay, so you're going side to side. There's a bridge in between each movement, right? So lots of bridges, lots of arm movement, right? And every time you're coming up, you're squeezing your glutes, right? So you should be getting somewhat tired from that bridge, even though it's a pretty simple bridge move, right? But we want to connect the full body here, right? So we're getting lots of good spinal health with this bridge, of course, right? Right, you're doing an awesome job here. We've got 15 seconds until we stay up in our bridge, right? So going side to side, you're still alternating. We're gonna go one more to each way. Here's one, coming back and down, coming up and down and back and relaxing. So still have our arms up. You're gonna be up in your bridge as high as you can, and you're gonna do a small pulsing motion with those arms. So they're slightly coming back, you're pulsing up and up, right? So you're not letting your arms come back all the way, right? Every time those arms come back, you're using your upper core. So you should feel those core muscles tense up. So make sure that you're breathing, right? Make sure you're controlling those weights, and it's a small pulsing motion, right? It's pulse, 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 right? Keep on breathing, keep on holding, keep on squeezing, right? We got 15 seconds, and then we're relaxing from the bridge finally, right? You're almost there. You got 10 seconds to go. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax. Okay, so we're going to be done with bridges for a little bit. So now we're going to focus more on your core bracing. So if you have lighter weights, you could switch to heavier weights. That's all I did. So on this, you have the option. You can have either both legs in tabletop, or you can have one leg down and one leg up. So what you're going to do, you're going to start with your weights down. As you press up, you're going to lower one leg down, your weights come up, and you're going to alternate there, right? So if you have one leg down, you would just do the one leg, right? Yeah, here, one leg at a time. Okay, so either way you do it, we got a minute like that. Oh boy, right? Ready? And go, right? So if you're modifying, your weights come down, your leg comes down and back up. So you have one foot holding you in place. So you could have that tippy toe down and back, right? So here I am modifying, if you need to see it, right? You're keeping that core tight, right? If you feel like you can step up from this modification, that's fine. You would have both legs in tabletop, and you'll alternate which leg comes down. So make sure those knees are staying bent. You want to keep a 90-degree angle, and you want to make sure that you don't have your heel right by your butt, right? So sometimes when people do this, they bring their leg down like here, and it's really close to their butt, and they're not really doing anything. You want your whole leg to move as a unit. So you're using your hip to hinge in that movement, right? So if you're modifying, go ahead, you could switch which leg was up, right? And you're going side to side with it. Okay, just nice and easy. You're going up and down. Your core is staying tight. And if you weren't modifying, but you feel like your form's falling apart, you can always modify, right? Don't feel like you have to have both legs up. We want your core to burn. We don't want back pain, okay? We're doing a great job. We've got about 5 seconds. So here's 1, here's 2, here's 3, here's 4, here's 5. So now you're going to set one weight down, and we're going to do a little bit of tricep. So you're going to have your left leg is going to be bent, right leg is out straight, and then with your weight, you're going to start with your elbows bent, right, like you're getting ready to do a tricep. So your right leg is going to come up, right, you're going to extend your weight, and then back down. Okay, so right here, we're going to keep our hips down. I'll show you how to add to it as we go, right? So you'll bend, that right leg comes down, you'll extend and back up, right? So head can stay down, right? You want to just work through this motion. So we're focusing on that core, right? Your right leg is not going to rest down on the floor. So if this feels like this is enough for you, that's perfect. You're going to hold on to this position. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, as you come up, you would press into a single leg bridge, right? So that's only if you want to add to this motion. Don't feel like you have to, right? You have the option to keep those hips down and focus on the core bracing movement if you want to, okay? We've got 20 seconds left on this side. And then before we do the other side, we're going to do chest flies, right? We'll give those triceps a little bit of a break. You have 15 seconds, right? You're doing a great job. We have 5 seconds, so let's do 2 more. Here's 1. Here is 2. Okay, so go ahead and relax. Before we switch sides, you're going to have both weights again, and we're going to do chest flies. So for this, you have the option. Both feet could be down, right? Or you can have legs in tabletop, but you're going to start with your weights up. You have your arms are slightly bent. Exhale, you'll come wide. Inhale, coming back together. Okay, so feet can be down too if you want, right? Go ahead and get started. So nice and controlled, right? We're not doing anything too fancy with our legs. We just want to make sure that we're bracing our core, okay? So if your legs are in tabletop, it just makes it harder, right? Plain and simple. But you really want to squeeze those core muscles, right? And pay attention to those weights. So keeping a soft bend in those elbows, you squeeze together and then come apart, right? You're doing a great job. We've got 30 seconds and then we get to do our other tricep. Yay! Right? Yeah, of course. Nice and controlled, right? Taking your time. You could even do 1 foot up, 1 foot down if you wanted to, right? Head is staying down, shoulders are relaxed, right? And make sure when your weights come back up, they should be right above your sternum, right? Make sure they're not above your head, okay? We have 10 seconds. You're doing a great job. We have 5 seconds, so let's do 2 more. There's 1. Here's 2, and you're gonna relax. So now we're putting 1 weight down. We've got our right leg bent, left leg is out straight. The weight's in both hands. You're starting with your weight down. You're gonna extend and lift that left leg up, right? So you can start with your hips down, focusing on that core bracing, focusing on that extension, right? And again, if you wanna make it harder, you press up into that bridge as that leg comes up and your body would come all the way down, right? So it's nice and controlled. Try to keep those elbows squeezed in. When the weight comes down, your elbows should point at the ceiling, right? So that kind of gives you a reference. If it looks like you have chicken wings like this, you want to bring those weights in so it takes the tension off those shoulders, right? We want our triceps to be working, right? Triceps in charge. You're doing a great job. Nice and controlled. Breathing with that movement. We've got about 15 seconds left, right? Controlling that weight. Try to keep that left leg as straight as possible. Doesn't matter if you're making it harder or not. You want to focus on extending that leg. We've got 2 more. Here's 1. Here's 2. And you're going to relax. And we're going to have both weights. Yay! So what you're going to do here, you have the option. If you can, you're going to have both legs up straight. So when both legs are up straight, you have to really pull in with those lower abs, and it's not very easy. So if you want 1 foot down, that's perfectly fine. Okay, so you're gonna have your weights together, right? And you're just gonna come down to your chest and back. So you want your palms facing each other. So I'm gonna start with one leg up, show you the modifier, then I'll move to both legs. Ready? And go. So when you come down, those elbows are locked in tight, and back up. Inhale down, exhale up, right? So if you have both legs up, that's fine. Make sure you're paying attention to your lower back and core, right? Don't just relax your abs and then your legs start falling down. So this takes a lot of flexibility with it, right? It's not easy. If you have one foot down, it's still not easy, right? It's gonna challenge you any way you do it. Lucky you, right? So try to just take your time, focus on breathing with that movement, right? And every time you exhale, it's gonna help you tighten up your core more. So there's a purpose to the rhythm of your breathing, right? To help you through those hard movements. Okay, nice and controlled. Keep on breathing. Exhale up, inhale down. Exhale up, inhale down. Right, controlling those weights. Remember, if your weights feel like too much, go down to one dumbbell, right? And of course, you're pointing your toe. And if you are modifying with one leg, you don't have to switch because we're gonna add to this. Kind of, right? You're almost there, 10 seconds. Keep breathing, keep pushing. Okay, we got 5 seconds. You've got 3, 2, go ahead and do one more, and relax. All right, so this next one that we're gonna do, we're gonna be in a bridge. You'll have both feet down, and you have the option for your triceps. You could use one dumbbell, or if you wanna make it harder, you'll have a dumbbell in each hand, okay? So you're gonna start with either your weight or your weights up. You're gonna bridge up, bring your weights down, extend your weights up, and come back down. Okay, so if you had one dumbbell, you would just hold it in both hands. You would press up, bring your weight down, extend up, come down. Right, so either way you do it, it's gonna be kind of like our first move of the day. We're gonna add to it. Okay, so you're up, you're gonna do your tricep, you'll extend, come down. Up, tricep, extend, come down, right? So nice and controlled. Remember, we're thinking of those glutes, okay? And you're doing the best that you can, right? So one dumbbell might feel better than 2, and that's okay. It's still gonna burn your triceps. You're gonna still get a workout, right? I promise you. Because if you use too heavy weights, it's harder to control, and you don't wanna knock yourself in the face. I doubt you wanna have a black eye, right? Except if you're wearing a mask, it might block part of it, I don't know. Okay, you got one more here. And now you're gonna stay up in a bridge, right? And you're gonna do a half tricep. So you're gonna come down, halfway up, down, halfway up. So with 2, that's a heck of a challenge. If you need to switch to 1, that's fine. You'll come down, halfway, right? Down, halfway. I'm using 1 because I had 2 10s and that was not feeling pretty, right? So you wanna control that half pulse, right? Half and up, half and up. Your elbows are staying bent. It does not feel good. In fact, it's pretty icky, okay? Nice and controlled. Keep squeezing those glutes. Now what you're gonna do, you're gonna hold that half motion. So keep your elbows tucked in. The weight is not relaxing. Your triceps are holding you in place, right? And right now you probably don't like me, and that's okay. I don't like myself right now with this move, right? Whose idea was that? But we got 15 seconds of holding with this isometric. Keep your elbows squeezed in tight. Keep breathing. Think of something happy. I don't know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Ooh, good thing I went down to 1 dumbbell. Okay, last move of the day here. Take your arms out for a second. So we're gonna make it the most challenging core bracing move. So you're gonna do a regular chest press. So you're gonna have your palms are gonna be facing the wall away. So on this, if you have one leg down, you're gonna have your leg out into a V, right? One leg is out and the other's down, or you've got both legs out in a V. And we're just gonna be pressing up and down like so, right? And again, if 2 dumbbells feels like too much, use 1 and go up and down. Okay, so I'll start with the modifier, right? And then I'll work my way through. So if you're modifying, you're gonna have one foot down, that other leg's out at a V, and you're pressing up and down, right? You're focusing on that core. Your leg is as straight as possible, right? Your core is tight. You're nice and controlled. If you're thinking like, hey, I got it going on today, what do you got, Mary? Bring it. You're gonna have both legs up, right? So you're in that V, You're keeping your core tight and you're pressing up and down, right? Hold that core position. Inhale down, exhale up, right? From here, if you're like Mary, come on, bring it on, make it harder. Go 6 inches from the floor, right? And you're really holding on right there, okay? Keep breathing. We're in the last 30 seconds of our workout. If you wanted to switch legs, you could. If you're modifying, right? Keep that core tight. You're in that V, whatever you need to do. You have 15 seconds. The lower your legs are, the harder it is on the core. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. And there you are. Won't be able to use your arms the rest of the week. Maybe. I might not be able to use my arms the rest of the week.